What's up, bookish babes? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be going over my September reading wrap up and October TBR. Now, the reason why I'm putting both of these videos together is because I read a total of 3 books in September, which is crazy, which is absolutely insane. I don't know what happened. I feel like I got in this minor reading slump after I finished Wild Eyes. I feel like at that point I was just like over reading, and I didn't even try to force myself to read anything. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I was reading this one book that I'm kind of still reading, but it was kind of like a pick up, put down, read when I feel like it. And I decided that would make me feel like I was in a slump, y'all. It wasn't like one of those big slumps I get in the middle of the year where it's just like for months at a time I don't read a book, I don't pick a book, I don't even look in the direction of a book. This time I could still read, it's just the want to read anything was kind of very low. And I was reading a book off my Kindle, which was, I don't even know how to describe what was going on, but I read 3 books this month. 3. That is crazy for me. But I read books, so that's all that matters. But we're gonna get into the books that I did read, and I read pretty good books. The 3 books that I read was pretty awesome. Now, the first book I read this month, was it? It was kind of, I can't even say, because I was kind of reading and listening to the second book that I'm gonna mention at the same time. So I was reading Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. I ended up giving this book a 5 star, I believe. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the friendship, the found family, like how they all come together and they've been friends for such a long time and they really enjoy each other's company. They went to college together. Like they you couldn't tell me like they wasn't family, because the way they cared for each other and protected each other and was there through the ups, the downs, like the in-betweens, like they always was checking on each other mentally, physically, emotionally. Now, I feel like her brother at some point was a little bit too overprotective for me, because I feel like he had like this older brother syndrome when they're twins. And although you can be older by minutes, but I mean, it's minutes. Like, it's minutes. So I felt like he was a little bit too overprotective for me at times. But I really did enjoy their relationship, their bond, the brother and sister. I really enjoyed their bond and how they was always there for each other, looking out for each other, and kind of making sure each other was okay, as well as their friends that they grew over the years. And yeah, I gave this book 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I see the hype behind it. I'm glad I got around to reading it, because it is a pretty thick book to me. So we read that. Then I started reading Scarred, which is the second book in the Never After series. I read Hooked, I want to say like last month or the month before. I read it then. I really enjoyed it, so I decided to go ahead and pick up Hook, which is a Lion King retelling. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of enjoy it. I kind of enjoy it. I think I gave it like a 4.25. Y'all, I really enjoyed it. Like, I can't really remember any of the kid movies like the Lion King, Tinkerbell, um Peter Pan. Like, I can't really put my finger on like what happened in those movies, because I haven't seen them in a long time. And yeah, maybe I need to sit down and have like a movie night with my kids and do that, like bench the series like Lion King, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and the other fantasy books that we grown and loved as we was coming up. So I might need to sit down and do that, because I can't tell y'all nothing that happened in the real Lion King besides Mufasa, Simba, the girl. Is it Nailani? No. Nyla? I think it's Nyla. Laylan? I don't know, y'all. I Don't hold me to it, but I really enjoyed this. I gave this 4.25. It's, like I said, it's a Lion King retelling. It's about the prince, Tristan, and his brother Michael. One of them end up having their father killed in order to take the throne. the other one felt like he deserved the throne. So that's what it's about, basically. Then I read Wild Eyes by Elsie, y'all. I read Wild Love last month, and this one came out September the 6th. And as soon as it came out, I went and bought it and read it, and I enjoyed it for the most part, y'all. I gave it a 4.75. It wasn't like a 5-star read to me, but I feel like I'm such a small romance, single father trope girly that anything that's wrote in that feel like I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to love it. I love kids, so kids in books, sometimes they don't add much, but the ones that I've been reading with kids in books, I always enjoy. Same for the kids in this book. I really enjoyed them. They were so sweet and kind, and just the bond that the father and kids had with each other, and how the this artist, what was her name, Skylar Stone, how she came in and she was so traumatized by her upbringing, and Wes kind of like healed her childhood trauma by her watching how he did reacted to certain situations that she was put in as a child. And his, for one scene, his daughter broke a glass and Skylar was expecting him to flip out, but he didn't. Like, the way he handled the situation even touched my heart, because I was like, you never realize how much something traumatized you until you experience it again, but from the outside. Like, if someone break a glass and your parents' usual reaction is to scream, shout, stomp, cuss, belittle you, then when something else happens like that, you automatically kind of clench up because you expecting them to do the same thing to their child. But that's not how everyone is, and that it's refreshing to see that people are not out here traumatizing their kids. They're not out here traumatizing their kids, and that is appreciated on my end, because I love to see a good, like, everything. I feel like everything, sometimes you don't have to yell about everything. Like, sometimes some things can be handled with a conversation, like a simple conversation, a simple, like, we don't do that, like, maybe, like, to get the kids to understand, like, the severity of the situation. Sometimes you have to have a conversation. Like, you have to use your grown-up words. You have to use your grown-up words. And if you don't know how to use your grown-up words, go figure it out before you're talking to a toddler. Like, that is crazy to me that people will flip out on their kids at a drop of a dime. But never mind, child. Let's not go too deep into that. But I love this book. I can't wait to the next one. I feel like I know exactly who the next couple is going to be about. I didn't even, is it a blurb in the back of this one? Let me see. I don't know. Yeah, it is. Wild Side. It is a blurb, and I didn't even see it. Huh. Yes, I'm so ready to read about the couple that's the next book, because just getting a snippet of them in this book, and I was like on the edge of my seat wondering, like, what is going on over there? Like, what's going on in that household? I can't wait to read the next book in this series, which is called Wild Side. So when it comes out, we're gonna most definitely be diving into it, because I need to know what's going on, and I'm gonna go ahead and read this blurb of this, because I didn't even flip to the back of it and read it. I kind of just read it on my Kindle, and then I just kind of put the book down when I finished it. But we're most definitely, I'm covering the name of the chapter, because if you haven't read the book, then you need to know who the thing. I don't want to spoil it for y'all, but yes, y'all, I need to read this as soon as I finish this video. We're gonna read that. We're gonna read those couple chapters of that second book. Now let's get into my October TBR. I told you guys before that October is my birthday. I was born on Halloween. I am a Halloween baby, which makes me a Scorpio, and not too much on Scorpios, but yeah. The first thing on, well, the first book is You Again by Kate Goldbeck, and a lot of people read this book last year, like around fall time, so I feel like I'm gonna pick it up and read it and see what's going on, because I've heard a lot of good things about this book. I wanted to read it, so that's what we're gonna do. The next book is Quicksilver, y'all. I've heard so much stuff about this book. People was reading this book during the summer times, and I'm a firm believer of reading books when you're in the mood to read it. And I felt like this gave more of a, I don't know yet. I don't know. But it's a fantasy book. And I feel like fantasy give fall. So we're going to be reading this one, y'all. I had to order this offline. It got delivered. We're going to read it. And I'm super excited to dive into it because I've been hearing a lot of good things about this book. Like, a lot. And the covers are just so, like, the chapter thing, the butterflies are just so pretty. Hopefully the chapters aren't long. Hopefully I don't have to break out a study guide in order to understand what's going on in here, because the world building, the character names, the code words, like I think it's like a pronunciation guide in the front of the book where it tells you how to pronounce the names of. So we just gonna be like jibber 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 in my head. Or we're gonna call it Kate, David, whatever name I decide to put with it in order to get through that book. Now, we had to add a Halloween themed book in here, or a witchy themed book, and it's Kiss and Spell. This is by Celestine Martin. I don't know what it's about. I got this in a box from a PR box from Forever Publishing. So we're gonna be reading this because it looks interesting. I want to see. I feel like I need to get more witchy books. So we might go to the bookstore sometimes this week to get more witchy books to read. So, yeah. Then I have My Roommate is a Vampire. Everybody read this book last year. I got it last year, but I didn't read it. But we're most definitely going to read it this year. We're going to put it in the fall reading vlog because I am in the mood to sit down and read some fall books, cozy with some hot cocoa or whatever I feel like I need to drink in order to sit down and get in the mood to read this. That's what we're going to do. We're most definitely going to do that. So, we're going to be reading My Roommate is a Vampire. I heard mixed reviews on this book. So we're going to see how I feel about it and if I enjoyed the book. And if you read it, comment down below and let me know. Then we're going to be picking up for sure this month is Her Soul to Take, y'all. I need to go ahead and get this off my physical TBR because I want to know what's going on in this book, y'all. I feel like I'm such a baby when it comes to reading dark romance. I really need to finish reading the second book in Hunting Adeline. But I am just, I don't know, like, so many things trigger the crap out of me. Like, it don't trigger me to the point of I don't want to finish reading it. Like, it's like, it gives me like, why the fuck would you, like, I'm sorry for cussing. It gave me like, why would you do that? Like, wow, what made you in your brain think it was okay? Like, I get to that type of trigger, not like the type of trigger that makes me curl up and cry. Because, yeah, but I want to read this. And then I need to finish off the last book in the Kingdom of the Wicked series, which is Kingdom of the Fear, so that I can read The Fallen Throne. So we're going to finally finish reading this, get this out the way, check this off the physical TBR list, and see how I feel about, like, I really enjoyed the series. I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed the series, but it was like one of those series that I had to read in pieces, because I think this one is about Wrath. Is it Wrath? I can't even remember. Yeah, these first three books about Wrath. The second one, the one that comes out of, no, the Throne of the Fallen is about envy. If I'm not mistaken, it's about envy. So we're most definitely going to be reading this so we can go ahead and dive into that book because I want to know. A lot of people said that book is so good and they love envy stories. So we got to finish this off in order to get there. Well, we don't have to. We can dive into it. I'm just dropping stuff. We can dive into it without finishing it, but we got to finish it. And last but not least, we're going to get back into Butcher and the Blackbird because, like I said, I was in a reading slump when I read this. I just could not get into this book to save my life. So we're going to give it another chance and read it because I do want to read the second book in this series. I think it's Leather and Lark. Yeah, Leather and Lark. I do want to read the second book in this series. So in order to do that, I need to read this to see how this story goes and how it ended. So I did soft DNF it on page 47. So we're going to start the whole book all the way back over and see exactly how I feel about it. So those are all the books that I plan on reading in October. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Comment down below and let me know some books you're going to be reading so that we can chat in the comment section. And I'll see you guys later. Peace. I'm calling bullshit. Say you got it, but you ain't got nothing. Bad bitches don't say shit, they just come.